Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of 2 in the kitchen table stamper Beary Christmas Stampa stack. In our first video, we did this Warm Wishes design. Now, it's exactly the same layout and same pieces, but we did 2 different samples for you. In yesterday's video, we did our little single bear walking. This is with the punch. And today we're going to do the little seated bear and the baby bear design, but this is our layout today. If you're not familiar with our Stampa stack classes, they are one sheet wonder classes. And yesterday we cut our designer series paper according to wonder recipe number 5 and number 19. We used all the pieces from 5 and these small strips from 19 to make our first 4 cards. And now we're going to take these 6 pieces and make the last 3 cards in the series. We also embossed the front panels of all of our cards. Now we don't emboss the cards for you, but we do your basic shape die cutting. We include all the card stock you need for your stamped images. We can't stamp for you or punch. We can't do the die or the embossing for you. It just isn't physically possible. There's so many class packets that we make. But we do your strips, your punching, your basic die cutting. We give you lots of designer series paper left over to play, ribbon, and embellishments. The envelopes are included in the kitchen table stamper class packets, along with all of the cardstock straps that you need to do your stamping with the Beary Cube. And if we still have class packets available, you can find them at kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And then when you get to the shop, you want to filter for class packets. Your filter will either be on the right-hand side or at the bottom, depending on if you're on a computer or a mobile device. When you filter for class packets, you'll be able to see what we still have available from our previous classes too. All right, so I went ahead and I embossed all of my card fronts, and I used the Christmas Tidings embossing folder. Isn't it cute? And we're going to adhere our designer series paper now, one of each pattern to each of our card bases. The Christmas Tidings is a standard embossing folder, but it does give a really deep impression, and we do the whole card front because I love the way it looks to build the designer series paper onto the embossed textured backgrounds. So you're going to want to use a generous amount of adhesive, and you're going to want to make sure that this really does get good and secure attached to the front of the card. That's what we're going to do for all 3 of this design. I love this Beary Christmas designer series paper. The colors are just so wonderful for winter. All right, so we've done our card bases and our designer series paper. Now let's take a look at what you'll find in your packet. We've got a deckled rectangle and then a strip for your sentiment and a 1-inch circle. We punched this from Balmy Blue. We have a scrap here. This is 5/8 of an inch by 4 1/4, just in case you're cutting your own kit. And then the rectangle is the deckled rectangles. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 from the smallest. And if you don't have deckled rectangles, it's about 2 1/4 by 3 9/16. And that's basic white. You'll have one for each of your cards. We want to bring in our sample over here and do some stamping. Now, we did the bears for all but one of our cards for each design, and what we recommend doing is doing all of your stamping all at once for all 7 cards. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you what we did here. We took Old Olive cardstock. We're stamping with Old Olive ink. Sweet Sorbet cardstock, we're stamping with Real Red. and Balmy Blue, we're stamping with Night of Navy. So we've got kind of color buddies going on here. And it gives us this beautiful bold image. So we're going to take our tree first. We need 2 trees. We've already got one stamped here. Let's get a second one. I like to do the outline and then put the branches in to the outline. It's a little bit easier for me to line them up that way, but you can try the branches and then the outline and see what works best for you. I love the clear stamp. You can see where you're going. All right, you're going to need 2 for each of the 3 cards. And we're going to do a little green present. I'm going to swipe that off. And then we're going to switch to Sweet Sorbet. And we need a little hat. We need a little hat for our baby bear. And another little present. I don't know, on these samples I did 2 with the Balmy Blue hat on the big bear and 1 with the Sweet Sorbet hat on the big bear. So I think we're going to do Sweet Sorbet. And so we're going to do a scarf for our big bear. And then we're going to switch to Balmy Blue. And this will be the hat for our little bear. We've got Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. We've got a big snowflake. And we're going to stamp this big snowflake right on this 1-inch circle. It makes a really cute embellishment. Keep that in mind for your paper crafting. It's so easy to just take those 1-inch circle punches, punch your scraps, and then stamp some cute little designs on. We're going to put it on with some dimensional, and it makes a really great embellishment. All right, next up are bears, and I love this about the Stampa stack. We're doing our bears with Night of Navy on basic white, and we've got a little guy. The little guy and the seated bear do not work with the punch. The standing bear does. So if you're going to make a bunch of these cards for Christmas, then you might want to consider the other layout that we did in the first video with the punched bear, because they'll go a little bit faster for your production. All right, then let's slide this one aside and let that dry. I've got the strip for the greeting. I'm going to do Merry Christmas, and we're going to put it to the right of center so that we have room for the little presents. So let's get that on there. All right, that's our stamping, and we will do 1 set of each for each card. I've got my paper snips now, and we are going to do some fussy cutting. So what I do with these Stampa stacks is I stamp all of my images, everything I need for all 7 cards, and then I'll sit with my husband and we'll put something on TV, and I will cut out all of my images, or I will stamp all of my images and cut them out, and then I'll use it to fill time. Then the next day I come back and I'll have all my cut and stamped and cut images, and the rest of the Stampa stack just goes together really quickly. So if you're going to do the Stampa stack, that's how I recommend you do it. You're going to do all your stamping for all your cards, all your punching for all your cards, all your fussy cutting for all your cards, do all the embossing at once like we did in video number 1, and these Stampa stacks go together pretty quickly and they're very enjoyable. All right, let me get these cut out. We're doing everything with a little border around it, and then we'll put this design together. Okay, we're almost done with the fussy cutting, and it said that one of the things that I like to do is prepare all the stamped images and then use the fill the time doing the fussy cutting. And this morning I was at the dentist. Waiting for the dentist is a really good time to fill with fussy cutting. So you have your project prepared ahead of time and you bring a couple of zipper bags. You have the images that you need to cut in one bag and an empty one for the scraps as you go, and a pair of scissors, and you can really fill time there. And the other place I love to do my fussy cutting and fill time is waiting for school pickup. So just a couple of, I don't know, ideas for you for time that you can fill with fussy cutting, especially when you're preparing something like your Christmas cards and you know you've got a lot of them to do. You can just kind of pack it and take it with you. All right, so we've got our little banner. I did the chicken lips with my handy dandy retired tailored tag punch. You can do that same trick with the corner of a square. It works too. All right, let's bring back our sample here and make sure you can see that one. Get our dectangle. That's what we call them in-house, the dectangle. And we're going to adhere that to the front of our card. I love this designer series paper. It's so pretty and so happy. And then our trees. I'm going to do a tree background here. And next up comes our bears. We need some dimensionals for those guys and for our little embellishment here. I think we're going to do paper doll dress up before we put our dimensionals. I just love putting the hats and scarves on these guys. There's our little embellishment. Got a little liquid glue here. And then just going to swipe a bit on the edge of the hat. This hat is almost absurdly large for this little bear, and I love it. I hope that you guys like the detail there. I think it brings such a nice pop of color and character, and the scarf fits the seated bear or the walking bear, and the hat fits all three of them. It's perfect. The hat makes a cute little embellishment too. You could just cut it out and pop it up here or there. All right, the bears need some dimensional. Our little guy, leave some room to the left so that he can have, so we have some space for our ribbon. Get this little guy on there. So cute. Aren't they cute together? All right, we need some ribbon treatment for our Merry Christmas. I already cut my navy bordered ribbon. This is about 8 inches of ribbon, and we're just gonna swoop back and forth kind of in thirds. And just, I like to use the card for placement, audition it. And then we're going to get some tear and tape. A little, oh, my fingertip is sticky. Hold on, I'll be right back, ribbon. Got a little bit of tear and tape here. And you got your loops and swoops kind of how you like them. You can put a piece right across the ribbon. We'll lift it up, remove the liner, fold back any extra, and then we'll put it behind the Merry Christmas banner. Looking pretty good. We need some dimensionals for the back of that. I love these edge pieces for stuff like this, so I'm just gonna kind of cut up a few little edge pieces here, because then I can use it to further secure that ribbon, and we can support the banner too. There. Get that banner up on the card. Little liquid glue for our presents, a little bit low on the red one because it's going to go past the top of our banner. Don't cover the greeting. And a little bit on the old olive one. So cute, don't you think? And let's catch our other two cards up. When you do batch work, it really is simple and quick. You can get a lot of cards made in a very short amount of time, and it's very enjoyable because you know start to finish what you're going to do and how you're going to get there. All right, so there's our 3 Merry Christmas designs. Now don't forget, we've got these gorgeous pastel iridescent gems. These are from the annual catalog, and I think that they've been overlooked. They really look awesome with this Beary Christmas Designer Series paper. And we have 3 colors and 3 designs. So I'm going to go ahead and add some sparkle to each of these cards. I'll do 3 kind of in this open space as like a cluster with a snowflake, but then I will also take 2 more and drop them kind of down in the corner here by these presents. So 5 of these gorgeous fiery gems on each card, and I'll do 1 card with each color. Look at that fiery red, love it. And then this guy over here, we're going to do the white ones. There it is, 7 cards. You'll have some left to play. If you've got any questions about the Stampa stack, if there's anything that I can do to help you stay crafty, email us, staycrafty@kitchentablestamper.com. And to go to our first video in this series, you can check the quick links below. If you're in the blog, it's below the embedded video. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. Don't miss the second part. To see if there's still class packets available, you can buzz over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop and then filter for class packets using the filter on the right hand side or the bottom of the page, depending on if you're on a tablet or if you're on a computer. If we have any left, they'll be there. They're while supplies last. To shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next Stampa stack.